Darlings, it's Mummy, Sybil Bruncheon, and I'm coming to you live from my own little driveway garden here in the suburbs of Philadelphia along the main line. For those of you following along with my gardening Tour-ettes, this is my this is my driveway garden. It's about what, 3 feet wide by about, I don't know, 25 feet long. There's the larger one over there. So that's a little bit larger. But if you've been following along, you've known that. So this spring, I decided that I would garden here with my neighbor's permission. They both said, "Oh my goodness, you're a gardener. Please do whatever you want in these strips that we share with the people next door." I transplanted this. I believe this is crepe myrtle or myrtle. I transplanted it from a pot that is over there and was struggling. That faux earthenware pot. I put it here and it's doing beautifully well. And these hyacinths are quite a surprise. I've never seen hyacinths grow back from whenever they were planted here by the former tenants. God knows how many years they've been here, but they are thrilled to be here. The soil, though clay and rocky and appalling, seems to be something they're enjoying immensely. I have to tell you, they look like they just came from a nursery. This is my hydrangea, which was struggling really seriously, and I pruned it back, all the dead wood, and it seems to be coming. I don't know if I'll get flowers, but at least it looks healthier. And here's our bed of irises with an orphan, another orphan hydrangea in there. But this irises, which we knew we were going to get, and then there's more irises down here. For those of you that have been watching my Tourette's, you know that last week, without my permission, and in fact, with my discouragement, the gardening committee, not the committee, but the landscaping company, dumped this, what I describe as creosote mulch. Let's look at it. It looks like it was wood at one time, perhaps before Mount St. Helens scorched it. It looks like it was wood and some sort of organic material, which was literally pulverized and then dipped in creosote and oil. It literally, to me, looks like the Exxon Valdez took a dump in our neighborhood. You pick it up, it smells like soot, it feels like oil. You can't get the black off your hands without really scrubbing in the sink with a scrubby sponge and some, Dawn for dishes. It's the most toxic stuff. And then they have what they call weed suppressant in it, which means really weed killer, poison. And it goes in there, and it definitely discourages weeds, but it thwarts anything that's living. This stuff soaks into the ground. It makes it tough on everything. You can see that they just took wheelbarrows of it and dumped it all over the spring flowers that were coming up. Literally, I had 4 to 6 inches all over our plants. And as you know, last week I did a tourette where I came out with a rake, a whisk broom, a push broom too, and a Bakelite spoon, a kitchen spoon, and a toothbrush, and literally picked, first of all, raked it all away from here, although there's still some remnants, but raked it gently. And then I didn't want to tear the leaves of all these plants, so I literally had to carefully whisk broom and then finally toothbrush all of it out from these iris, which were buried. They were buried halfway up their these wonderful sword leaves that iris have. You can see some of it is still under here. I still haven't raked it all out of there. This stuff is poison. And there's my daylilies that I just planted. I just bought them. They took a terrible beating. I think the weed killer may be wrecking them. Anyway, I haven't groomed these iris yet, free of their old last year's growth, but they will look like the ones in the front shortly. And again, I had to pick these hyacinths out of the junk that these men had thrown all over it. These beds were not brown and soil looking. They were literally black with cinder wood creosote mulch. My newly transplanted myrtle was buried, literally buried, and I showed you that. All right, we're going to go to the other side in just a second because I'm starting to garden over there, and I'll show you that. But that's the end of part 1, okay? Stay tuned for part 2.